I am about to drive this stage 50 times to see how much I can improve over that time and hopefully get into the top 10% in the world on a stage that nearly drove me insane. I have chosen to do a tarmac stage, as many of you who have been here for a while now know that my pet hate is tarmac, and not for any other reason than I am just really slow on this surface type, and I have no reason or excuse to explain why. I will be using the WRC 2 car in preparation for the upcoming team championship that myself and my team have set up. You still have time to enter. You could do this by joining the Discord, going to this channel and filling out the entry form. Now I'm about to take a trip into the unknown, so sit back, grab a drink and watch as I try to break my own mental health and set a decent time by my standards. So having not done much tarmac driving in this year's game, my first run got off to what you would expect it to be. Yep, that's right, I lost the rear and went straight into the bank. I was telling myself to just take it easy for the first few runs and not to push straight from the start, but I couldn't help myself, and every time I restarted I went for 100% from the get-go, which led to many crashes. So after many runs to start off with failing to even set a time, I finally on run 5 managed to set a time for the first time, being a 4-minute 43.3, which actually got me into the top 1000, which I know is nothing to brag about, but this is me we're talking about. But that first time did get me into the top 45%, and I knew with all the mistakes I had, I couldn't stop now, and on the very next run I managed to go even quicker again. Still making a fair few mistakes and nearly crashing once or twice, but this time I set a 4-minute 34.7, nearly 9 seconds faster, putting me in the top 30%, ranked 596th. And with that happening so fast, I definitely felt like I could, even on my weakest surface type, get into the top 10%. But that is when I lost any ability to drive, and serious doubts started crashing through my mind. The following runs all ended in the same way: crash here, crash there, too slow into this corner, too slow into that corner, locking up, losing the rear, you name it, I managed to do it. Then it only took another 10 attempts. On run 16 I managed to set another time which was 6 seconds faster, coming in at a 4-minute 27.8, putting me in 342nd in the world and now in the top 15%. So being this close to the top 10%, I decided to check the driver's time who sat bang on the 10% mark, which in this case happened to be the 231st ranked driver, who happened to only have set a time which was only 3 seconds faster than myself. Now I knew with some of the failed runs I had already done that I could chip out another 3 seconds out of my time. So now with this newfound belief I got straight back into it. But again, that's where my driving talents left me. And run after run after run, I kept making the same mistakes, and when I managed to get it right, I would completely ignore my co-driver and go sailing off into a field or into a tree, which happened more times than I would like to admit. Then on run 34 I managed to keep it all together, and somehow I'd already took so much time out of my previous best, at one point speeding nearly 3 seconds up, and then I get to the second to last corner and do this. At this point my head exploded and I had to walk away from my rig as I was getting more and more frustrated with myself. And finally I managed to come back with a better attitude and a clean head. But then I made very many of the same silly mistakes here and there, costing me time or the run entirely. Then on run 39 I hooked up what was looking to be a great time, only to completely mess it up and crash into a bridge. The deadline was 50 restarts. I was already up to run 40 and I started to worry that I may not actually be able to achieve this challenge that I had set for myself. But I did continue to push through. Run after run, DNF after DNF, I seriously could not hook a run up. And as I was creeping close to that final run of 50, I could see no progress, but then this happened. Luckily, coming in one run before I had to finish this stage and post whatever footage I had up to that point.
4 left short, keep in, 240. 3 left, half long tightens and 2 right, 50. 3 left, over finish, to stop.
And Finally, after hours of training and the actual sweat I lost during this challenge, I had done it. Run 49 was a 4 minute 22.2, a nearly 6-second improvement over the last time I set, which was on run 16, which was set such a long time ago. Not only was this enough to get me into the top 10%, it put me 172nd in the world, which for you guys, who I know some of which are animals on tarmac, is not much, but for me, I could not be happy with that result. But there is still so much to improve upon and so much more time to gain. And for those who stuck around to the end here, this is the setup I use for this challenge. Feel free to use it, adopt it, and go and beat me. So if you enjoyed yourself today, then subscribe to the channel. It's completely free and also helps me out a bunch. While you're down there, do like the video, and until the next time, I will see you very, very soon.